It's time for the Daily Stand Up Podcast presented by AgileDad with your host, Lee Henson. Without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, so humor me. I had someone send me an article, and it talks about Agile Project Management is a harmful term. Now, this is going to be interesting because I just recently did an article or a podcast episode where we were talking about, I did an article with it, where we're talking about how terms or the words that you use, anyone who gets hung up over a certain term, or anyone who fights back and says, this is a bad term to use or a good term to use, anyone who is so deep in the details of the way you word things. I believe I referred to them as the Agile police. The Gestapo comes and says, hey, you can't use that term. We need to make sure that we are not falling into that trap. So in this case, the term Agile Project Management emerged many years ago and is widely used in many organizations, and rightfully so. Traditional organizations practiced project management. It's what they did. And they had two different ways of doing project management. They had a predictive or an adaptive flow. And that's just the way it was. Predictive, meaning that we tried to predict everything in the future and we follow more of a waterfall pattern. Adaptive, meaning that we were able to break things down into small bite-sized chunks and, of course, adapt as needed. Now, what I can tell you is that I don't, right out of the gate, I don't have a problem with the term Agile Project Management. So let's see where it goes. In this article, I'm going to talk about why I think that the project concept is not particularly agile in nature and why the words agile and project should never be used together. I'm just not feeling it so far. Let's see where he goes. In short, the common understanding of a project is that it's thoroughly planned and forecasted activity that has a defined outcome. I don't know that I agree with that. I've worked on projects before that are research projects where we have nothing planned and we're just trying to figure things out. I've worked on projects where we have done discovery or where we've done enhancements or enablers to help people do other things. It's not always perfect. Now, this is the part where I'm going to have some fun. He goes to Latin. And for those of you who know me, I took 12 years of Latin. The word project comes from the Latin word projectum, which means before an action. Fact. You just now called yourself out. So if you think about projectum, which means before an action, that says that a project is something that you do before you take action and deliver something. You just answered your own question. And that's why projects can be agile, because they go through a part of discovery. So now he's going to the internet for answers, the book of Google, in this case, the book of Wikipedia. According to Wikipedia, a project is any undertaking carried out individually or collaboratively and possibly involving research or design, ding, 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 that is carefully planned to achieve a particular goal. That's the thing, though. That last part, if you just took off that is carefully planned, well, you could even leave that one, that's carefully planned, but take off the end, to achieve a particular goal. How about to move towards a goal? It doesn't, many projects do have an outcome, but some projects are just there to figure things out. So now he's going to go even deeper. The Cambridge Dictionary defines project as a piece of planned work or activity that is done over a period of time and intended to achieve a particular purpose. Now, I like the word intended there. It doesn't always achieve the purpose that we intend, but it's intended to achieve it. How many references is he going to give? Okay, another popular definition is a set of interrelated tasks to be executed over a fixed period and within certain cost and other limitations. Okay, I don't know where that definition came from. Sounds like that's the one he made up. But the common synonym for project is plan, schema, and forecast. All right, I got to draw the line here. I'm kind of having fun with this in case you haven't figured it out. I'm a firm no on this one. People send me articles all the time and say, hey, give me your opinion. And I'm not even going to post a link to this one. This one is just off the rails. So let's get it back on the rails, right? And I think that what he's trying to say, and here we go. What he's trying to say is that a project should be structured. And here he gives some reference to project structure. And he talks about the phases of initiation or ideation, discovery, the actual build out or execution, and then the release cycle. That's the only part so far that I agree with. That every plan goes through those, or every project, every plan, everything we ever work on goes through those four phases. Doesn't matter whether it's big or small; they all go through the whole initiation, ideation, discovery, delivery, and release. Every single thing we do goes through those four. So, with that being said, if we understand how a project is formed, it's going to help us understand what the achievable outcome should be. Sometimes we just need to align around sprint goals. And if we align around sprint goals, we're going to discover, hey, the sprint goals say that the project should yield this result. But at the same time, maybe that result that it should yield is a greater understanding or some additional research. And I think that if we can get to the point where we understand agile thinking, and we stop getting into this mode of everything needs to be perfect and we need to use the exact right terms and we need to stop using certain terms, and we get to the point where we say, hey, what can we do to make a difference, and how can we meet you where you are and help you have a better understanding instead of coming in with this dogmatic doctrine approach. I think that we're going to be way better off than we were before. So that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you took something away from it, even though it was one of those ones where I'm like, no. If you have a topic you want us to discuss or an article you want us to review, feel free to reach out to us. Learn more at AgileDad.com. We would love to hear from you. And as always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care.